Hello, everybody. My name is Todd Berner. I will be doing this talk in English. I unfortunately don't know Spanish, but I hope you'll bear with me. I work at Google in Boston, so that's on the east coast of the US, and I work on Firebase. Previously, I was at Google for like the early part of Google Cloud, so as it ramped up, it's been cool to see it kind of explode over the past few years. Today I'm going to talk about Firebase. Who here is a mobile developer? Raise your hand. Nice. Who here is interested in mobile development? Better. Who here does web development? Cool. So I'm going to talk about our new features in Firebase, but I'm also going to give a rundown of exactly what Firebase is. With that in mind, Firebase is kind of split into three areas. So Firebase as a whole is Google's tools for building mobile apps. Some of it is built on top of GCP, so they're just SDKs that allow you to easily access the GCP tools that you already know, and then some of them are mobile app specific. We have it broken into three areas. So we have build better apps, so that's build. Improve app quality, and grow. The way it's broken up is like build includes things like adding authentication really easily to your app. So instead of taking like weeks to add authentication, we're talking like a couple hours. Cloud Functions allows you to run arbitrary server-side JavaScript. This means that you don't have to spin up back-end servers for most tasks. An example of that would be like if, let's say I have an app that involves sharing images. When somebody uploads an image, if I want to resize it before I store it in cloud storage down here, you can run that JavaScript and resize the image and then store the image in cloud storage. Cloud Firestore is our NoSQL database solution. Who here uses SQL? Nice. Who here has used NoSQL? Similar set of people. So the difference between those two is that NoSQL is a non-relational database. This is really good for app development because it allows you to duplicate data in multiple places. So like SQL, you have to have kind of everything correct in one spot, and then you have these relations between tables. NoSQL allows you to not do that, which really biases toward being able to read fast from your database. So instead of like having to run these huge complex queries, I worked at a real estate company for a while, and the type of queries that we'd have to run after somebody made a search were actually quite expensive, but this you'll be able to actually query the document directly. Cloud storage is a warehouse for storing any sort of assets. That can be image assets, static HTML, JavaScript, CSS, anything you want. And hosting allows you to host that if you want to have a website. MLKit is a great tool that we're going to talk about more in a couple minutes, but it's an SDK that allows you to take advantage of some of the great machine learning tools that Google has to offer directly in your mobile app without a ton of code. And then real-time database is similar to Cloud Firestore. In the app quality section, we have Crashlytics, Performance Monitoring, and Test Lab. You can think of these as like a sequence. So when you're building a mobile app, it's going to have a lot of crashes. And before you launch it, you want to be aware of those crashes, especially device-specific ones. For that, you'd use Test Lab. What this does is it automatically crawls your app. So you upload an APK, and it will navigate through your app to determine if there's any crashes. It'll also show you the latency on any loads. Then when you launch your app, the number one reason people uninstall apps is actually crashes or the app freezing. So Crashlytics will let you know exactly what's happening out in the wild. And then finally, as you like fine-tune things, you're going to want to have things like HTTP requests and views loading faster, and performance monitoring allows you to track that. And then finally, we have Grow Your App, and this is centered around Google Analytics. Google Analytics is classically web-based, which means that you need like a content view in order to trigger something. Google Analytics for Firebase is event-driven, so any action your user does in the app, even if the app isn't foregrounded, you'll be able to track and get data on. These other tools all tie in, so predictions allows you to use that analytics data to predict what type of users will leave your app. Remote config allows you to make changes without sending your app back to the App Store. So this is like, let's say that you wanted to have like a Christmas theme or something. You can release your app a few weeks earlier, and then the day of, make a change here, and next time the app loads, it will pull down that setting and display the new theme. A/B testing builds on that, so it allows you to do experiments using that remote config. Dynamic links is deep linking into your app. So this is like if you want to have users share something on Twitter that leads directly into a specific place in your app. That's how you do that. Cloud messaging, Google's push notifications for Android are based in Firebase now. So Firebase Cloud Messaging is the solution for push notifications. And then we have in-app messaging, which is really cool. So like a picture, you have a user using your app. If it was like a shopping app and they have a cart, they constantly browse it, but they have a few things in their cart. You can actually display something in the app while they're already there that pushes them back to the cart.